After nearly 4.5% of gains for gold prices in the previous week, we have seen good gains coming in for that space even at this point in time. $10 up in the European markets, and you have seen similar gains coming in for the Indian gold prices as well. So after making lows of around nearly 25,500, we are at around 27,200 in case of Indian gold prices in the last 2 weeks now. Good going in case of silver as well, 0.5% on the higher side in the Indian markets, and the base metal prices also have turned around. Remember, the Chinese markets have been shut today. They are shut for the next 2 days as well because of public holidays. The base metal markets have started moving only after the European markets have opened, and you have seen a bit of a buying opportunity coming in for that one as well. 0.5% up in case of most of those base metal prices, and that's how the Indian markets also are working about. One space that has not been able to attract any funds has been the energy sector. You are looking at nearly 0.25% of a decline coming in for the NYMEX and the Brent crude prices. A bit of a decline in the Indian markets as well. It's just about meandering around 5,000 rupees per barrel kind of prices. It's really going to be the Fed meeting this week, which would give you further direction coming in for most of these commodities now.
Prasad, CEO at Safe Trade Advisors, joins in on the show this afternoon. Hi Prasad, first up, what's your call on gold? What would you advise traders to do with gold today?
Gold prices have bounced back from the lower levels last week after a carnage before that week. But I expect even after last week's bump up, it may consolidate around these levels or pause here for a week or two before its next leg of fall. I feel the gold in Indian prices will hover around 27,000 to 27,500 for the week. So it is good to buy it around 26,900 and book profits around 27,300. That will be good trade. It's not wise to make a sell this week, as it may consolidate again a week or two after such a big fall. And the international things are also looking as it is, and the GDP forecast has not been good in the US. That may support bit gold prices, but the Cyprus and other problems, however, weigh on the gold, and we may see its next leg of fall only after some consolidation around these levels.
Prasad, afternoon. Tell us about what would you recommend on silver, because that's also cracked from levels of 55,000 to almost sub 45,000 now.
Silver prices too have bounced back from the lower levels of around 41,000 to 45,000. It may consolidate here along with the base metals consolidation, and we expect the main thing for silver prices would be tomorrow's PMI numbers in China, how it would reflect for the base metals, and the copper and the nickel lead would react. The silver also may take cue from that, because last week the numbers were very soft. We expect this week it to be quite okay, if not as bad as last week. So I expect the prices of silver to stay here around between 43 and 46,000 range for some more coming 1 or 2 weeks. So I advise buying it around 43,000 with a stop loss of 42,000 for a targets of 45 and 46,000 whenever we find intra-week dips.
Sushil Sinha, country head at Karvy Comtrade, now joins in on the show to walk us through his strategies. Sushil, what's your sense for gold? Do you think that we are likely to see more of an uptick, and what's your strategy?
We have seen last week gold has given a strong pullback, and today we are expected to see a further upward movement. However, we have RBI rate cut decision, monetary policy decision, that may have some appreciation of rupee. Overall, it seems to be, for the intraday perspective only, can be about around 27,100 for the target of 27,250 level, and a stop loss can be around 27,030. Basic reason behind this is that we have seen dollar USD has been on the lower side while against euro, and that may have a positive impact on bullion prices. However, this recommendation is still a morning session, first session only. After 5-6 o'clock again we can see some correction in the prices.
Sushil, hi. Tell us about how do you see crude prices faring, and what's the strategy?
In energy, crude oil can be sold around 5070 for the target of 5,000, and stop loss can be around 5105. Basic reason for selling this is today we have morning Chinese and Japanese market closed, and even industrial slowdown in the Chinese. We have seen a negative result, most of the negative result coming out from Chinese sector, Chinese industrial sector. Therefore, maybe having a negative impact. Overall trends seems to be on the downside for the energy sector.